Hey you guys. Okay, so I'm recording this video real quick. I'm gonna throw it up on my YouTube and get it to the team page, guys. I was just listening to Gary Vee, and it's got me on fire. It has just got me thinking. So his main anything Gary Vee says, he talks very often about creating content, documenting content, and how you don't want to, he said something just now, and it just blew me away. I just had to hop on and tell you guys. He said, have you ever heard the term fake it till you make it? And the guy that he was asking that to was like, yeah, of course, we've all heard that term before. He said, okay, put it up on the shelf. We're not even gonna grab that anymore. We are gonna be focused on making it until you make it. And so the reason he said that, make it until you make it, is because the guy's question was, if you guys don't know Gary Vee does a lot of interviews with people. So if somebody writes into his social media or comments on his social media, he will randomly pick those people and call them and get them on the phone and interview them and tell them, like, what question do you have? So this particular entrepreneur's question was, how do I get more followers so that way they can see my content? That was his first question. And he said, how much content are you making? And he said, well, I do about 2 videos a week. And he was like, you got to make it until you make it. So making more content, when you have something, gosh, you know what just came to me right now. Angelina, you're going to like this. What just came to me right now is, oh man, that's a whole nother can of worms. I'll open that up in a second. So basically, Gary Vee was just talking about making it until you make it. Put the content out there, and your followers will come. The right people will come, and not to overthink anything. So he's just talking about not overthinking anything, not thinking too much about the numbers and what's going to sell. And he said creating content isn't necessarily sales. Creating content and creating a brand and creating a following is a marathon. That doesn't mean that you're going to cash in on that marathon immediately, meaning you may not go ambassador tomorrow, right? But you're creating that content, and you're creating that page, and you're creating that look, and you're creating those followers via your content that comes from your heart. That is longevity. You're creating a longevity on that page. You're creating longevity in your brand. You are creating your brand with your content. So make it until you make it. Make the content until you make it, and then just keep making that content. The only difference is that when you make the content until you make it, you're gonna have more followers, right? So you're just gonna be touching more people. Okay, so there's that. All right, I'm gonna go back to the thought that just came to my mind right now. So a long time ago, when I was 18 years old, I used to go to a church in Corpus. It was called Bay Area Fellowship. Me and Richard are both baptized in that church. And now that pastor actually, he rebranded the church. It's called Church Unlimited. It's in Corpus Christi, Texas, is the main branch. That's where me and Richard got baptized. But he just created a branch in San Antonio, Texas. And Angelina is actually going to church there. She's volunteering there. And it's so awesome how that fully came around in a circle. But Pastor Bill talked about this as well at one point, and it was just one of those things that really hit us then. And then hearing Gary Vee talk about make it until you make it, it came to me when I sang that out loud right now in this video. It just came to me. Pastor Bill and his wife Jessica Cornelius, they started their church in a school off of Airline in Corpus. And guys, they had this church like in a gym, and people were sitting in bleachers and fold-up chairs and all this different stuff. And he said, I need to impact more people. And I think they were up to 9 services a weekend. They were looking at getting 12 services that weekend, so that way they could have more services to reach more people and introduce more people to God. And so he said, I have it heavy on my heart that I need to build a large church. You guys, the church that I was baptized in is huge. It is huge. It's a beautiful church, but it's huge. Richard had been going to the one at the school for about a year, and he said, I'm so excited. There's a state trooper, so I'm going to put my phone down. He said, I'm so excited. they're building a bigger church. They're going to impact more people, blah, blah, blah. And so he was very excited about it. And I'll never forget whenever he told me about that. And we went to that church, and guys, I fell in love. And to be honest with you, that's where my relationship with Christ started. But he said, we grew in size. He goes, because I just kept hearing the Lord tell me, if you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. And he goes, I just kept hearing the Lord tell me, if you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. And you guys, he built a church that was way over, it was huge. I mean, it is huge. It's still a huge church. And it gets filled every Sunday for 3 services and on Saturday night. And you know what? He built it and they came. And so that's the thing, is like, you create the content and they come. You want more followers, and the thing is like, we're doing it backwards, right? It's like Pastor Bill could have been like, once I get the people in the church, then once I know they're going to come and they're here and I can count them and they're physically here, then I'll build a bigger church, right? He didn't do that. He built the church and the people came, because that's what God told him to do. And so, and I think about this too, Gary Vee is talking about, you guys want these followers, you want your following to be high, you want 2,000 people viewing your stories every day, you want 50,000 followers, whatever that is to you. You want all these followers and all this amount of people watching your content, and then you're saying to yourself, well, once I have the followers, then I'm going to make some fantastic content. I'm going to go live and I'm going to have great videos. I'm going to, put these posts up that are going to be attraction marketing. They're going to be gorgeous. I'm going to get that preset filter. I'm going to go and I'm going to do all this stuff once I have the followers. You guys, make it until you make it. Put the content out there and then let your followers come. They're going to come. You know what I mean? Build it and they will come. Guys, I'm just fired up right now. I'm so fired up right now. I'm so stinking excited. It is crazy what self-development will do for you. And then it opens up, I just started talking and then it opened up this other window that I remember from long ago when Pastor Bill was talking to us about, the risk that he took on building a $1 million facility. Guys, that facility in Corpus cost $1 million, and they were in a school, in a gymnasium with fold-out chairs every Sunday. And he built $1 million facility off of faith that that God was telling him, if you build it, they will come, and he believed him, and he went off of faith on that. And so I just want to encourage you today, make it until you make it. Put it out there. Put the content out there. Take pride in the content that you're putting out on your social media, because that is 100% your business. And what you're putting out there and in here is what you're going to attract. So if you're thinking negative, if you're thinking negative thoughts about your business, if you're thinking negative thoughts about this kind of business, if you're thinking negative thoughts about your life, about yourself, about your relationships, about whatever it is, guys, you're putting it out there, and that is what you're going to attract back 100%. And so if you want to, and I say this because I have friends in this business that they make a bunch of poor me posts. Poor me, I know this is going on. Poor me, I'm doing this. Poor me, and then they come to me and they say, "Hey, girl, I just don't understand. Everybody that I'm enrolling seems to be like." They seem to be like, I can't pay for my $20 website because of this. I can't do this because of this. I can't, and everything that they're saying and they're doing, everything is just so negative. And I'm like, girl, I just went to your Facebook page and let me screenshot you what I'm seeing. And everything that she was posting was negative. And that's the thing, is like, when you put out certain content, that is who you are attracting. So what kind of content do you want to, what kind of content do you want to put out? Because what kind of person do you want to attract? And I think that's the first thing that we need to ask ourselves, is what kind of person are we attracting with our content? You need to think about this. This is your business. This is a life-changing business, you guys. Like, I met more than a handful of people this past weekend that are all making over 50 grand a month in this business. If that was the possibility for you, because it is 100%, don't you think that you would take the time to think about the content that you're putting out? Yeah, man. Yeah. So I'm fired up right now. I just had to make this video. I'm so excited, and I hope you guys hear what I am saying when I say it, because I am lit up. I am lit up. So I love y'all, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.